A comparative study of ethnic costume identity taking Uyghur and Han ethnic groups as examples. Abstract. Based on the theory of ethnic identity, this study attempts to explore the status quo of ethnic costume identity through the attitudes of Uyghurs and Han people towards national costume. Through the investigation to understand the Uyghur and Han ethnic clothing inheritance status, emotional status, shortcomings, wearing will and attitude to other ethnic clothing. The results show that Uyghurs and Han people all show the acceptance of wearing their own ethnic costumes, while the rejection of wearing other ethnic costumes reflects the inherent recognition of their own ethnic costumes. The Uyghurs' emotional investment in their own ethnic costumes, the current situation of wearing them and the rejection consciousness of other ethnic costumes are significantly higher than Han people's. However, there is no significant difference between Han nationality and Han nationality in their willingness to wear clothing, degree of concern and attitude of negative factors affecting wearing and using. Keywords: national costumes, national identity, national dress identity, the Hans, the Uyghurs. Introduction. In the field of modern philosophy, identity mainly refers to the same state of two specific things in the process of change. Finney believes that ethnic identity includes various forms and is a kind of positive emotion or attitude of ethnic members towards their own ethnic group. Such positive emotion can make ethnic members feel a sense of pride and belonging to their ethnic group. National identity itself involves the attitude, behavior, and emotion of an ethnic group, and even affects the knowledge system and cultural background of an ethnic group. 3-4. Carla believes that national identity represents the national member's high recognition of individual identity and national emotion, and represents the individual's national belief and national emotion. 5. The identity of national costume is one of the important manifestations of national identity. The identity of costume promotes the identity of national culture and the history of national integration and development. 6. As a symbol of national culture, national costume is an important carrier of national consciousness and an important way to show national emotion in the historical evolution. Therefore, the identity of national costume embodies the high identity of national consciousness and national identity. In an ideal social and cultural environment, national costume is the core part of national culture, which to some extent reflects the mutual recognition between social role and self-role, and this silent language is the unique feature of national costume. 7. 1. Research methods. The method of questionnaire survey was adopted. 8. The main subjects of the survey are the Han and Uyghur people. The questionnaire consists of 6 parts. The first part is about demographic information, which is mainly about gender, ethnicity, age, and education level of the subjects. The second part is to investigate the emotional state, emotional factors, of national costumes. The third part is to investigate the negative factors, hindrance factors, that affect the wearing of national costumes. The fourth part is the investigation of the status quo, status factor, of national costumes. The fifth part is to investigate the identity of the clothing of the ethnic group rather than other ethnic groups, exclusion factor. The sixth part is to investigate the willingness to wear the national costume and the degree of concern, willingness factor. The answers are on a 5-point scale. 2. Survey results and analysis. 2.1 Descriptive analysis. A total of 236 questionnaires were collected, 38 non-conforming ones and 38 invalid ones were excluded, and a total of 198 valid ones were collected, with an effective recovery of 83.90%. Among them, the number of women accounted for 73.31%, the number of Uyghurs accounted for 48.02% of the Han population. The number of people aged from 18 to 30 reached more than 90%, among which the number of people with a bachelor's degree or above accounted for 94.49%, and the survey population was in line with the range of subjects in the experimental study. 2.2 Reliability and validity tests. The data of all 198 questionnaires were processed with SPSS 20.0, and then the reliability analysis was carried out. The results are shown in Table 1. The Kronbach's Alf coefficient of the total quantity table is greater than 0.8, and the Cronbach's alpha coefficient of each subscale is greater than 0.6. Therefore, it can be considered that this questionnaire has good reliability. 2. Validity analysis. T. According to the component matrix in Table 3, the 29 problems with reliability can be divided into 5 parts, namely, emotion factor, hindrance factor, status factor, exclusion factor and willingness factor. Emotional factors include 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, reflecting the respondent's emotional status of national costume identification. The hindrance factors included 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, which reflected the respondent's cognition of the negative factors affecting the use of ethnic costumes. Status factors include 16, 17, 18, and 19, which reflect the respondent's understanding of the status quo of national costumes. Exclusivity factors include 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24, which mainly reflect the respondent's attitude towards their own ethnic costumes and other ethnic costumes. The willingness factors include 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29, reflecting the respondent's willingness to wear ethnic costumes and their degree of concern. The data in Table 4 show that the significance of homogeneity test of variance equation of emotion factor is greater than 0.05, which conforms to the hypothesis of homogeneity of variance, indicating that there is a significant difference in the emotion factor scores of Uyghur and Han respondents, and the score of Uyghur is higher than that of Han. It can be seen that the Uyghur respondents are better than the Han respondents in preference degree and positive emotional attitude towards ethnic clothing. Since the significance of homogeneity test of variance equation is less than 0.05, it indicates that the variance equation does not conform to the hypothesis of homogeneity of variance. Therefore, there is no significant difference in the score of hindrance factor between Uyghur and Han subjects, but the score of Han subjects is higher than Uyghur subjects. The results indicated that the Han subjects believed that there was still room for progress in the negative factors affecting the wearing of their ethnic costumes, while the Uyghur subjects showed a higher degree of recognition of their ethnic costumes in the hindering factors. Status quo factor according to 2 dimensions, Han nationality subjects' understanding of the current development of our national costumes. The homogeneity test of variance equation significantly greater than 0.05, shows that the variance equation in line with the homogeneity of variance assumption. Therefore, and Han nationalities of 2 subjects has significant differences on the status quo of factor score, and score of Uyghur subjects was obviously higher than that of Han Chinese subjects. It shows that Uyghurs have a higher understanding of their own ethnic costumes than the Han subjects through the 4 questions of the status factor. Exclusive factor according to 2 dimensions, Han nationality more agree with this national costumes. The homogeneity test of variance equation significantly greater than 0.05, shows that the variance equation in line with the homogeneity of variance assumption. Therefore, and Han nationalities of 2 subjects has significant differences on the status quo of factor score, and score of Uyghur subjects was obviously higher than that of Han Chinese subjects. It indicates that Uyghur subjects have a higher degree of identification with their ethnic costumes and are more willing to accept their ethnic costumes. Willingness factor represents the willingness of different ethnic groups to wear ethnic costumes and their attention. Because the homogeneity test of variance equation significantly less than 0.05, indicates the variance equation is not in conformity with the homogeneity of variance assumption. Therefore, Han nationalities 2 subjects have a significant effect on the willingness factor score. Result does not, but the Uyghur subjects score higher than the Han Chinese subjects. That Uyghurs were wearing intention and focus on the degree of national costumes are higher than that of Han Chinese subjects. For conclusion, by comparing the 2 dimension, Han clan were found in the 5-factor score of the clothing of Uyghur people. Identity was significantly higher than that of the Han nationality. Visible Uyghurs for the protection and inheritance of the present situation is better than that of the Han nationality, both from the appetite to our national costumes, and opportunity to everyday wear and frequency is much higher than the Han nationality. It is because of the high degree of identification of Uyghurs to their national costumes that Uyghurs reject other ethnic costumes. Uyghurs for the national costumes of love, positive emotional state, and this is better than the Han Chinese national dress at present state. They do not think this national costumes need to make a big improvement. Uyghurs' satisfaction and the present development of our national costumes in intention is higher than that of the Han nationality, shows the present situation of the clothing of Uyghur people more. On the whole, Uyghurs have a high recognition of their ethnic costumes, so they are not willing to try to wear other ethnic costumes, which reflects the strong rejection of other ethnic costumes by the Uyghurs.